Hello, my lovely witches. Welcome to another Colour Wheel of the Year flip through. So, I've been meaning to make this for about a month, but I'm finally doing it. This is the Beltane Pages. So, I'm actually wanting to start working on my litho pages. So, I thought I'd better get this flip through finally done, so I can get working on it. So, she's getting chunky. She's getting very chunky. So, our Beltane pages are here. And Beltane is purple for the correspondence via the Chaos Magic book that I've been working through, Colourcraft. Oh, sorry, I'm breathless. I'm ringless today. Well, apart from this one, which doesn't come off because my arthritis is so bad. So it's all the things. However, we may get a cameo from Godric. He's sitting in the window as we speak. So that'll be fun. Beltane. I traditionally struggle with the celebration of Beltane. It doesn't vibe with me as much as some of the other Sabbats. I think we all have those Sabbats that we don't connect with quite as much. And aside from Lunasa, which is more to do with the time of year that I have a problem with, Beltane has traditionally just not quite... I just sort of haven't connected with any of the themes. So we've got a little bit of a Beltane information page there, which again comes from the Australian Witchcraft magazine from about 2007 or something. On the day of Beltane, I did a really lovely Beltane. I've been celebrating a lot with flowers, edible flowers. I made Beltane bannocks, which I've sort of altered. A traditional bannock is quite dry and quite crusty, usually made from oats. I like a slightly softer, more pancakey style of bannock. So I have essentially used a sort of a cross, a bit of a mashup between a traditional bannock recipe and a oatmeal pancake type recipe. So I had bannocks for breakfast with eggs and edible flowers. That's a photograph of my plate. And that's my recipe up there. If you want to pause and screenshot and use it, feel free. I also made Beltane brownies, as you can see, with this big chocolate covered gloop. They were delicious. They were a chocolate peanut brownie. Oh my God, so good. A little bit of information on Borage. Borage is one of my favorite herbs, both magically, medicinally, and culinarily. Don't even know if that's a word. Culinary is, so we'll go with that. And I love it, but it's very hard to get borage, flowers or leaves in a greengrocer or farmer's market here. And I'm really struggling to grow it. I don't know whether it's partly... I mean, it should grow anywhere. It should be a weed. I remember when I was a kid, my mum used to have it just coming up everywhere, all over the garden. But my brown thumbs just mean that I struggle, and I probably don't water it enough. But even so, it should just grow. Alas, we all know I'm a crap gardener. So, a little bit of information on borage, its history, and what it's for and how you can eat it. I like to use it in teas. I like to use it in salads, and you can boil up the leaves, sort of like a green vegetable like spinach, put it in stir fries. So a bit of a cooking theme going through here. This is just a little celebration of spring with the butterflies. Spring is proof that there is beauty in new beginnings. And this is this is actually a little zine that was a snail mail item from Molly Roberts about weeds, and it really vibed with me, and it felt like, to me, it really vibed with the season as well. Springtime, we get quite a lot of, for us, quite a lot of rain. It's not really a lot of rain, although we have some crazy storms. We had one recently that was absolutely insane and flooded streets, and was just damaging, and power went out and all that sort of stuff. So we do get the occasional crazy storm, but we're not prepared for it when we do. So that's a little bit about weeds, and I feel like I might even later add more information into this little pocket about what is a weed? A weed is a plant in a place that you don't want it. So weeds are really just plants that are growing where they want to grow and not where we want them to grow. But I think that we all sort of have certain ideas of what plants might be construed as weeds. Certainly in Australia, there are legal definitions of what constitutes a noxious weed. And it's usually because it's an introduced species that is taking over and destroying both native plant life and potentially causing problems for native animals that eat that native plant life or their habitats or what have you. So for me, a weed is a bit more loose. It's not that sort of legal definition that we have here. For me, it's more of the dandelion that pops up in the lawn. It's the nasturtiums that pop up in the cracks of the pavement. It's the plantain that you see growing wild by the side of the road. It's the ash trees that have just popped up from growing via seed, spread around the district via the wind, that sort of thing. And I'm rather taken by those plants that do that struggle to live, that they battle through and they can do it. And also they have a lot of medicinal or magical correspondences and things too. Dandelion is one of the most amazing, it's probably the most lauded herb in the Western herbal medicine sort of area, because it's just so good for so many things. Anyway, I'm rambling again. So let's just turn the page and move on. Oh, this was a little Scorpio season taro spread that I did. So I've just tucked the description of that on a little piece of paper and tucked it in there. Didn't do much embellishment on that at all. Just popped it into this little pocket. This little pocket, by the way, came from a digital printable kit from Lucy, from Les Patouilles de Lucy. This was an artwork that came out of Australian Witchcraft magazine. I am afraid I cannot read the name or the first name. Surname is Boscuti or Boscuti. But it's gorgeous, and I loved it. So I stuck it in my book. This is another article from that magazine on the Sabbath of Beltane and about flowers and fairies and celebrations. And again, this is me just trying to work through in my mind how to connect with the Sabbath, how to connect with the season. And flowers are definitely a good theme for that. Godric clearly agrees. Hello, baby. Good boy. Yes, I'm sure. Baphomet. I have been really enjoying learning a bit more about Baphomet, and I have been finding Baphomet just popping up everywhere. Oh, Godric wants to sit on my lap. In my feed, in my life, in little items and bits and bobs. And so I've been working with both Cernunnos as the horned god as well as the Green Man. And I sort of feel like Baphomet is another sort of aspect of that horned god deity. And so it's sort of a natural flow to start looking at him and what he represents. And it's a lot of duality, which is really interesting. It's a lot of that, as above, so below. duality, hermaphroditic, you know, masculine, feminine one. So almost like a non-binary deity, which is really cool. And then we have the Maypole. So I made a little Maypole in my book. Inspired by Elderberry Sprout, who did something similar in her Beltane Pages and her grimoire. And then just a little bit of detail about the symbolism and the celebrations around the Maypole. Purple crystals, lepidolite, amethyst, fluorite and sugilite. All really beautiful purple crystals. Then we have a page on apple blossom, because my apples are, my apple tree is blooming at this time of year. And I do use apple blossom in spell work and in incenses. And it's, so I just, yeah, popped that in there as being something that's, you know, happening at this time of year, and things that I can utilize from my garden. A little bit on the colour magic of purple. And we've got some stamps here from myself and from La Green Witch, and another little digital printable from Lucy. My Beltane tarot spread. I actually used the Seasons of the Witch Beltane Oracle. I don't use my Seasons of the Witch Oracles anywhere near as often as I should, even seasonally. I don't use any of my tarot cards as often as I should. I'll be frank, my tarot card collection far outweighs any usage it gets. So it was nice to use the Beltane Oracle, although I have to admit, because there are so many bees in the Beltane Oracle and I'm so highly allergic and also have a bee phobia, I struggle with the Beltane one. It's beautiful, but there's too many bees. So I stick a little bee sticker up there. Yeah. I imagine this is how people feel who are scared of snakes but still want to include some snake imagery in their practice for the beautiful symbolism that it has. I'm all good with snakes, just not with bees. Then we had this little sun and citrine spell for energy and purification, which comes out of Llewellyn's book on Beltane. And again, stamps from La Green Witch. Although this one was as a colouring page. Yep. Another little bit of information on Beltane festivities, and then I just included this raven and floral image because it's beautiful and makes me feel a bit springy or a bit spring-a-weeny, and we all know that I've just been through a long exploration of spring-a-ween. So spooky spring, that just fitted with the theme. Spring and summer in the garden, little things to do at this time of year, including a reminder to me to start regular watering, which I don't do. More La Green Witch stamps because I'm obsessed. I know Celine knows that. Last parcel she said, I know your address by heart. That's when you know you've got an obsessed customer. Hello, Celine. I love you. And this is a little love colouring in page from Molly Roberts. I'm sure if you're familiar with her work, you see her colouring in pages and immediately recognise them. And I love them. I don't do a lot of colouring in, but there's something about hers that entice me to get my textures or coloured pencils out. And then we have some themes for the season and Sabbath, and a little illustration of a dahlia that I did many years ago in a sketchbook and have just, you know, chopped it up and put it in the back of my book. So, excuse me, that is Beltane and purple, and it is the next to last of the Sabbaths. I have just Litha left to go and my book will be complete. So come the new year, I will do a full flip through of this book if you think that's something you'd like. Having done all of the pages, Sabbath pages individually, I'm not sure whether it's a waste of my time and yours to do that. So please be interested to hear your thoughts. Comment down below whether you want a full flip through of this book or whether you just want me to finish off with the leather pages and be done with it. So there we go, Beltane. The spring season, it's very much the center of spring. You're really in the thick of it. And it's, yeah, I think I connected better with this season this year than I maybe ever have before. And I think that part of that is doing this exploration of the Wheel of the Year. So there we go. I hope wherever you are in the world and whatever season you're experiencing, whether it's spring into summer in the Southern Hemisphere, whether you're, you know, sort of in autumn / maybe already into winter, as I know a lot of places are at the moment in the world, or whether you live in the tropical equatorial areas and have almost no seasons. Sending you all my love. Enjoy where you are. Get witching, get art witchy, and if you do get art witchy, please tag me, please let me know. I love to see what you're up to. I am as obsessed with you guys as you are with me or anyone else on, social media sharing art witchery. So it's a little art witch circle, and I love it, and I love to be a part of this little art witchy community, and I love seeing what you're all doing. So much love, and see you in the next video. Bye bye, my darlings.